From a lecture standpoint, I found that none of the feedback systems that are the typical ones you see are valuable. Most of them, you go to a conference, they hand out those forms that are like Likert scales, 1 to 10. 10 is the best, 1's the worst. And the questions are like, did you like the lecture? Did you learn a lot? And if you get 100 of those forms back, right? First of all, you're only going to get about 5 to 10% of people filling them out. So if you get 100 forms back, 90 of them are going to be all 10s all down the right side, right? And that's useless because you don't learn anything about yourself. You don't learn about your lecture. 9 of them are going to be like all 1s. But that's because people thought 1 was the highest and 10 was the lowest, and they just flipped them. And that's still not useful.
So
And then
good.
like 1% will write in the comments, this lecture sucked. I didn't learn anything. I knew all this information. And that's also not useful, right? Like I haven't learned anything from that. So what I try to do, one of the tips that I tell people is I take a bunch of index cards. And before the lecture, I hand out the index cards to everyone in the audience. And when I'm done and I'm leaving the stage, I say, before you leave, if you can just write down 3 things you learned during our time together and leave them in the back. You don't have to put your name on it unless you want to, but just write down 3 things you learned and leave them in the back. And I collect those cards. I go home and I look at them. And the 3 things that people wrote down should match with the 3 things I went into that lecture wanting to teach. If they line up, then I did an okay job. If they don't line up, then I have to think, is my lecture actually about something else? Or do I have to refine this more?